GearNetwork.com.
This is a Gear Network production.
You spring, I spring, we all spring for Teespring. You know what that means? As corny as that was, yes, I know it's corny as hell, we have a t-shirt store. It is up and it is running. And right now we have 8 shirts, but it is growing. The merchandise is growing. Right now we have shirts going from as little as $13 for a TJCMS first t-shirt to $20 for a Gear Network logo t-shirt. All of them available to be delivered right to your front door. You choose your size, you choose your style, and you go. It's as simple as that, and there are plenty more t-shirts to come, but take a look at our Teespring store. If you go to GearNetwork.com, under the Support the Shows banner and 4 links down is Gear Merchandise. That will take you directly to our Teespring store, and you can see all of our selection of our current shirts right now, our current merchandise. Thank you again for all of your support and using our links on GearNetwork.com.
Welcome back to the P. We're about to get real funky up in here right now with this brand new Stone Cold groove entitled The Funk Ship.
Well, back in 1975,
you know only the funk will survive.
Coming to you live from the Gear Network studios in Rochester, New York. This is the JC Money Show with your host, John Cimino, a.k.a. JC Money. And now, here's John.
And hello, everybody. Welcome to this edition of the JC Money Show here on the Gear Radio Network. We are back. It has been a little bit, and I apologize about that. Actually, no, I don't, because it's the unofficial summer time starting, and I've got a pool to jump in and all sorts of good crap. But anyways, my name is John Cimino at the JC Money on the Twitter. Of course, you can always support us by doing your Amazon shopping through our short link, which is shopgear.com, shopgere.com. You use our short link. It takes you to Amazon, takes you right to your account. You shop as you normally would. The difference is our code is embedded in that short link, and it tells Amazon that we referred you, and we get a commission on some of your purchases that we use to go towards the network. Okay, that's it. That's all I'm saying about helping us out. Of course, there's PayPal too. But anyways, we're gonna get right into it, nose deep in this podcast, because I did extend an invite to a previous guest a few episodes ago on this particular feed, and he took me up on it. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, coming to you from, according to this, Syracuse, New York, the one and only Moonlight Sun, Mike Skyros. Skyros, how's it going, my man?
I'm great. I'm hanging back. I'm chilling. It's great to be back, man. Yes,
absolutely. So before I go in and I get to what we are to talk about here, let's backtrack this a couple of months ago now. I think at this point, you were the IWF Heavyweight Champion at the time, and you were doing battle with Big TK. And
Correct.
Since that point in time, you've had a few matches with him.
Yes.
One of which I believe you retained. Did I read that correctly?
You did. And
then in the latest one, unfortunately, you did not leave with the heavyweight championship. There was a video that came out after that match which showed your obvious disappointment. But I do not believe that you have since addressed the Western New York fan base since your loss. Is there anything that you'd like to get off your chest right now before we deep dive into the subject of the NBA playoffs?
To be honest, I got a lot I want to get off my chest, but I'm going to have to save it for the show. I'm going to say it to the fans in person, so you buy a ticket, you'll hear it from me. Otherwise, wait for the YouTube, wait for the DVD.
All right. I guess I'm gonna have to wait for the YouTube and the DVD because, well, as we all know, an appearance by me there ain't happening anytime soon. But
hey, it's not my call. I'd book you.
I appreciate that, and I will mail you the payment for that later. But all right. So what this is a follow up, not necessarily just for the IWF thing, but I did throw out there because Mike and I started talking last podcast a little basketball, and he seemed to really get into it. And I thought, it'd be a great topic to, kind of show off another side of Skyros, another side of the Moonlight Sun, and that is the analytical sports side. So don't fail me now, Skyros. We got some playoffs to talk about here. Let's kick it off right now with what everybody is on everybody's mind, fresh on everybody's mind, the 2018 NBA Finals, and for the fourth consecutive year in a row, the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors will be playing for the NBA championship. Now, in the 3 previous years, the first year they met, Golden State won that one. The second year they met, Golden State very famously blew a 3-1 lead, and the Cavaliers won in 7. And then last year, the Warriors just hammered the Cavs and won. This year, it's a radically different Cavaliers team that has been heavily relied on by LeBron James and his play and his being out on the court. And you take a look at the Warriors team, and they, regardless of being the number 2 seed in the Western Conference, they have clearly shown that means nothing to them, and they can still go out and do Golden State Warrior things. So the odds of Cleveland winning have been extremely slim to none. What is your take on this, the 4th consecutive year that these two teams are playing in the championship?
Well, the thing about that, it's funny, like, people right now, I see a lot of people complaining about the fact that it's the same 2 teams matching up, and yes, in a way it is boring, but I think when people look back on it, they'll be able to appreciate that this is now a classic rivalry. Like when you look back on the Lakers and Celtics, when you look back on like the Bulls and the Utah Jazz, the Bulls and the Pistons, things of that nature, teams that met up all the time, I think people will grow to appreciate it once they're kind of a little farther away from it.
Do you think that the whole super team stigma of the previous years has stained a lot of today's fans that may be upset about all of these? And I preface this by saying that 2 of the 3 Golden State Warriors, well, I guess 2 of the 4 finals appearances that they've had, they were essentially homegrown. They didn't necessarily become a super team until Kevin Durant joined them last year. And then they really just went off the chain. Do you think that stigma has sort of stained newer or even older NBA fan?
I think it's stained a lot of older fans. Newer fans, I think, are so used to it that they haven't really seen it another way. I think in general, the talent level in the NBA is the highest it's ever been. With that, just teams are stacking up, and I think it's been good. We saw it this year. I think we'll see it more next year and as the years go on, that teams are loading up on stars to try and take out teams like the Warriors. So I think it's good, and it's like the old adage that the competition is good. It puts everyone on their A game, and it forces other teams to step their game up.
And it seems to be stepped up, especially out in the West, because when you look at the Western Conference, the Warriors, while they were the Warriors, they were not the number 1 seed. The Rockets were the number 1 seed. And this kind of ties into, something near and dear to your heart. The Minnesota Timberwolves, your team, made the playoffs. They were the number 8 seed. They played the Rockets. They lost, of course, in the first round, and it was 4-1, I believe was the series there. Yeah, 4-1. First of all, as a T-Wolves fan, did you think that they had a chance against the Rockets, or were you more proud and happy that they at least got there and pulled out the upset, if you will, in Minneapolis in Game 3, 121-105? Were you happy that they at least got that, or did you think that they could have really competed with the Rockets?
When I look at the 2 teams, it's frustrating because I saw the places where they could have played better. Like Karl Anthony Towns was pretty non-existent most of the series. Jimmy Butler wasn't his best most of the series. The defense was atrocious almost the whole time. The Rockets did a lot of it without huge contributions from Chris Paul and James Harden. But I'm more in the field that, like, I was just happy that the team got there and got that win, just because I hadn't seen that in so long. So it was definitely cool to be able to see that, and I appreciated the little bit of success that they had. Plus, the way they played on the back end of the season, my hopes weren't super high for how they were going to perform in the playoffs.
Is this something, though, that you think that the Wolves can build upon, or is this a one-and-done thing for them? You're the only Wolves fan I know, so I have to bombard you with these types of questions.
Right. It could. The hard thing is it could be either. I think as long as they don't mess with what they got too much, they could move up. When they had Jimmy Butler healthy, they were a number 3 seed a large portion of the season. When he got injured, it kind of messed with their team dynamic, and they kind of fell to the 8th seed. Mm-hmm. I think a healthy Timberwolves team is a contender because you have 3 legitimate star players on one team, and they had a solid bench with guys like Jamal Crawford, so I think they can compete.
Absolutely. I agree there. And I mean, I could have seen them in the 5 or 6 spot, pushing the Pelicans and Jazz down. But right. The Rockets' road to the Warriors was they defeated the Timberwolves, then they defeated the Jazz. The Warriors defeated the Spurs and the Pelicans. And then, of course, the Warriors defeated the Rockets in 7 games. Interestingly enough, both conference finals matchups, both the Western and Eastern Conference, first time both went to 7 games. Now, switching over to the Eastern Conference, the fact that it went 7 games, does this say a lot about the Cavs, or does it say a lot about the Celtics, whom were without Kyrie Irving and were without Gordon Hayward, and we're still with this young nucleus doing very well, and we're 1 game out of the NBA Finals. What do you think the Eastern Conference Finals, the story of that ends up being?
I think it's very easy to say that the Cavaliers were the favorite team, being that the Celtics didn't have Kyrie or Gordon Hayward. But when you look at the depth of the Celtics, and you look at the Cavaliers, who were basically anchored by LeBron, as you mentioned earlier, I think it was a lot closer of a matchup than a lot of people would have given it credit at first. Obviously, it was a close matchup. It went 7 games, and then they pulled off the winning Game 7 without Kevin Love, who's the second best player on the team. I think people underestimated guys like Terry Rozier, guys like Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum, who played phenomenally throughout the playoffs, and a guy like Al Horford, who's a legitimate star center in the league still.
Absolutely. He was big for them, but yeah, Tatum, exactly. LeBron even said flat out, this guy has star written all over him. Watch out for him. And I think that had the Celtics, now I know there were a lot of people that were saying, well, who needs Kyrie? We can just trade him because we have what we have here. I think that having Kyrie there, if he were playing, the Celtics would have won that game. But his veteran leadership there could have clearly helped calm the nerves, the Game 7 nerves of actually being against the LeBron James in a Game 7, 1 win away from the finals. I just think that would have more helped than hurt. So I think if Celtics fans out there that are saying, you guys should trade Kyrie, don't stop.
No. Yeah, they didn't watch the Celtics play basketball in the regular season if they think that, because that team rallied around him so well throughout the regular season.
And they're only in position to be better next season with a healthy Hayward and a healthy Kyrie. So I do think that, much being made about LeBron going to his now 8th straight NBA Finals, which is, it's remarkable in this day and age that one person is able to really do that. And 4 with the Miami Heat, 4 with the Cavs. He's been to 9 NBA Finals total. The guys that, you wanted if there's any comparisons to draw, because I know they like to compare Michael Jordan to LeBron James and all that. And, that's a different topic for a different podcast. But if you want to make a strong comparison, LeBron James is on an equivalent level
to Tom Brady in the NFL, where, Brady has 5 Super Bowl rings, but he's appeared in 7 of them. Or no, right. Excuse me. No. 8 of them. He's appeared in 8 of them. Has 5 rings. LeBron's appeared in 9 NBA finals and okay, he has, what did he win? 2 or 3? I think he won 3. 2 with the Heat and 1 with Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, 3 championships in what will be now headed into his, 9th go around, his 8th straight. That's still pretty remarkable considering the fact that the NBA is such a super long season. And then you factor in the best of 5 and 7, or actually I think it's best of 7 now all the way around, throughout the finals. That's a lot of games.
Yeah. And I'm surprised his body isn't broken down, because the comparison I like to make is think of if anyone here plays basketball or has played basketball for fun. The next day you're wrecked. You feel like you got run over by a car. You can't move your legs. Think about playing basketball at a professional level from now October through June every year for close to a decade. It's insane. And that's going to wear on you.
And he doesn't really show any signs of slowing down, knock on wood. I mean, the guy's still, pretty good. I'm a LeBron guy, so I'll rant and rave all about him. And I think it's because the majority of the people dislike LeBron now for some reason, and I think he's good for the league. But let's go right into the finals here. The finals, the Warriors and the Cavaliers. And I'm pulling up all of my information right now, but as of we're recording the day before this is going to be released, so it's going to be tonight from Oakland at 9:00 on ABC. The number 4 seed from the East, Cleveland Cavaliers, number 2 Golden State Warriors. Skyros, who you got?
It pains me to say this because I'd love to see LeBron pull out the championship win. And I know he's going to get buried when he most likely loses, but I got Warriors. For the sense that when you look at the Warriors team, they're so stacked, they're so deep, they play great defense. They played some of the worst basketball of the season. Steve Kerr said against Houston in Game 7, they still pulled out the win. They kept it close. So much has to go right for Cleveland to win, and so much has to go wrong for the Warriors, and I don't think that's that's not a situation you walk into looking too good.
I'm totally in agreement there with you. I hate to say it as well, but when you look at the numbers here, I have the side by side right up here on my other monitor of the Cavaliers and the Warriors, and I want to read just the top 3 lists the top 3 people that they have here listed for their roster and their comparisons, points per game, and all that stuff. So on the left we have LeBron James, Kevin Love, and Kyle Korver for the Cavaliers. LeBron James, points per game, 34. Kevin Love, 13. Kyle Korver, 9.8. This is an average per game. Okay. So yeah. James, Love, and Korver, 34, 13, and 9. Then we go to the Warriors' top 3. Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson, averaging 29, 24.8, and 20.5 points per game, respectively. Now we go down a little further. Even one more. George Hill, averaged 9.7 points a game. Draymond Green for the Warriors, 11.1 points per game. I mean, this is just this looks so uneven.
Yeah,
that I picked the Warriors to win in 5, and that's a courtesy because I'm a LeBron James guy and I'd love to see this. Realistically, I do not see a way, unless there is a monumental, catastrophic injury to literally 6 people on the Warriors.
Yeah,
that Golden State does not come out of this winning their 3rd NBA championship in 4 years. So I've got the Warriors in 5.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I'd say probably Warriors in 5. It would take all those shooters on Cleveland hitting all those shots and playing phenomenal defense, and the Warriors just falling apart to even get 1 or 2 games out of them. So, yeah, I think that's the right call.
Here's another question that I have for you. Will you be watching it? Because now there's so many people that I've read on the the blogs on the internet and Facebook and things like that, Twitter. Oh, I'm not watching the finals. I'm not going to watch it because it's it's boring. It's 4th year in a row. Blah blah blah. Whatever.
Yeah.
Will you be watching it?
Of course, I'll be watching. I like basketball, and one way or another, we're going to see some good basketball. And if it's one-sided, so be it. It'll be disappointing, but I think that's just a lot of pouting because they didn't see either the big evil teams get shut down. Exactly.
I think that's it. And truthfully, I think this is the last time we're going to see Cavs Warriors in the finals. Because I've got a very, very strong vibe. Not that I have any inside knowledge of it or of any of this or anything, but I truly have a strong feeling that LeBron James is headed to Philadelphia. I think that's where his next stop is, and I think it happens next season. Part of me wants to be wrong, but the other part of me is okay with it because Philadelphia to me is a little closer, I think, than Cleveland is. But whatever. But either way,
that'd be crazy.
Oh, that would absolutely be crazy with Simmons and Embiid and James there. That would be a very, very tough squad to beat, and it would really and truly elevate the old Philadelphia versus Boston old school rivalry again. I think,
yeah,
and I think that would be great for basketball, honestly. But
yeah,
LeBron winning in Cleveland also is great for basketball too. So,
yeah.
What do you think? Do you have any thoughts on that?
The only reason I don't see him, and maybe it happens, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see him going to Philly because I think him and Ben Simmons are too similar. Maybe that's the reason he goes to like mentor him, but that'd be scary because Joel Embiid, I think anyone who's watching, and DeMarcus Cousins is great, but Joel Embiid is the best complete center in the league by far. It's not even close.
That's my next jersey, by the way.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
I'm gonna buy me one of those. Chinese's, of course, but whatever. I don't care.
You got it. Yeah. I would just if LeBron has to leave Cleveland, so be it. That's his decision. Hopefully, the city wouldn't turn on him. He's dragging that team as best he can.
Yeah,
I just don't want to see him go to the Lakers or the Warriors or anything like that.
I can't see him going to the Lakers or the Warriors. I don't see him going to the Western Conference because, quite frankly, the path to the finals is easier on the East. Yeah, and that's not saying that I don't think LeBron would like the competition, but I think he wants the competition on a grand stage. And if the easiest way to get to that grand stage, to get to that competition, is in the East, he's staying in the East. That's at least me. Although I wouldn't mind seeing, if he were to go to a West Coast team, I wouldn't mind seeing him team with Coach Pop and the Spurs.
I was just about to say that. I would love to see LeBron on the Spurs. I think that'd be scary because he's never played for a great coach.
Mm-hmm.
All these other great players have played for great coaches. He is not.
Yes, no, he is not. I mean, Ty Lue and Spoelstra's not a bad coach at all. I actually like Eric Spoelstra. But he's no Greg Popovich.
He's not a great coach though.
He's no Greg Popovich. So that would be interesting.
If he can get that team, if Pop can get like 12th season LaMarcus Aldridge and Patty Mills and 40-year-old Manu to the playoffs, think what he could do if he had LeBron and like another piece.
Exactly. So it'll be as much as we're basketball fans are geared up for the NBA finals or whatever. I'm sort of already looking past the finals because I'm really interested to see what the offseason of the NBA will have for all of us. But that's pretty much that. There's only so much we could talk about now with 4 games, up to 7 games remaining in the season between two teams. But it's going to be interesting to see where this plays out, and I'm going to be curious to get your final thoughts on the finals after they conclude. So
And also too, I would imagine by the time the finals conclude, that IWF show is going to happen. You will have addressed the fans, and then you can address the podcast for the wrestling fans about that. So
I can't give everything away at once.
Well, right. Well, I mean, by then it's like a hand-me-down, so it's all good. But
yeah.
All right. Skyros joining us here on the JC Money Show once again, talking NBA Finals. Skyros, as always, open door, my man. And I will be looking forward to talking to you very, very soon regarding this and a plethora of other things.
Of course, man. Thanks for having me, and I'm looking forward to it.
That was Mike Skyros, and this is the Go Home music. There it is. Another edition of the JC Money Show has come and gone. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again, Mike Skyros, for joining me. And he will come back, as we just discussed there. He's going to be back probably after the NBA Finals. We're going to talk a little more about that. And I'm going to get a little more into what the hell happened at IWF with him and losing the championship. I see him as a regular guest. I think so. You think so? Pretty good. But anyways, thanks again to Skyros. Thanks to all of you for tuning in and listening in and shopping. Shopgear.com. Using my link for Amazon. Of course, if you don't remember the link, just go to Gear Network, GEREnetwork.com, and click on the Amazon banner. We'll take you right there. Do the exact same thing as the short link would. Again, that helps us out with production. They give us a small commission on some of your purchases. And you know what? If you don't like Amazon, if it's not for you, GearNetwork.com/donate. We accept PayPal in any denomination too. And our Teespring store is up there. You can get wonderful JC Money Show shirts, like a few people have. The ladies' shirts seem to be selling. Hello, ladies. Hello, ladies. I can't do the Val Venus voice. I don't care. I'm not high enough. But anyways, thanks again for tuning in, supporting Gear Network, supporting JC Money Show, supporting the FTW podcast, Better Life Than Dead, Turnbuckle Talk, all of our shows that we have. Thank you very, very much. And until next time, this is John Cimino, a.k.a. JC Money, saying so long, everybody. Good night now.
Like a 2002 Usher. Let it burn out. I'm wearing a rubber. Flat on me. Dancing like a one-man army. Turn a funeral into a dance.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.